Hello everybody, in this lecture we learn how to use random module in Python. We often want to use random numbers in our programs because creating random numbers is very important for developers, for any programming language of course. Random module in Python has many different functions to create different random numbers or objects. In this lecture we will learn the most useful functions for random module. We have 7 functions, and I will try to teach you how to use random module in Python. And actually this lesson is very important. After this lesson you can make your own examples, because creating random numbers, as I said, it's really important for any developers. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, of course, we need to import our module, random module. How we can do that? As you know, we have 2 ways to do that. First one is import random, like that. The other one is you can say from random import, for example, star. If we say star, that means we will import all our functions from our module. Okay, so I want to use first one, and now shift enter, and after that I want to use dir function for random, and now we will see our functions under our module. As you see, it's here. And if you want to get more details about our function, what we need to do, we need to use help function, right? So after that help function, between parentheses I need to type my module name, random. Okay, now here there are more details about my functions in my module. Okay, random module, it's here. And now let's learn how to use our functions in random module. The first one is, again, its name is random. Okay, random function. The random function returns a floating point number between 0.0 and 1, but 1 is not included. What I mean, for example, here you can say, let's create a variable rnd, and after that use our function. To use our function, we need to type our random module name before random, and after that our, of course, function name. Now parentheses, and here let's print out our variable. As you see, it created for us a floating point number between 0 and 1. If I press it, shift and enter again, as you see, it creates a new one, another one, and another one, like you see here. Okay, and I want to make something before we did in our previous lectures. For example, if you want to get 3 digits after dot, how you can do that? We can use print function to do that. F format function. So I will use here format, and let's say print here between curly brackets. I need to say 0 and column, after that dot, for example 3f. If I want to print out 3 digits after dot, I need to say here 3f. If you want to print out 4 digits, you need to say here 4f, right? And now here, of course, what I need to say? I need to say here format dot format, and my variable name rnd. Okay, now please press shift and enter. As you see, now after dot I have 3 digits, because I said here use format method, and after dot I want to see print out 3 digits. Okay, and the other our function, it's uniform function. The uniform function returns a random float number between given range. What I mean here, our random function, it is generating only between 0.0 and 1, but uniform function, it generates a random float number between given range. Okay, so let's use it, and to do that I will say again my module name random, and after that my function name uniform. Here between parentheses I will give a range. Okay, so let's say 5 and 10. So it will generate a float number for me between 5 and 10. Okay, now shift press we will press shift and enter. As you see here, I got print out a number, float number. It's 7.22 blah blah, something like that. Okay, and for example, let's make another one, random uniform. Okay, and now let's say between 0 and 100. Okay, now I got 51 point something like that. And let's use also this time, let's use for a negative number, okay, here. So what can I say? I can say minus 10, okay, between and 0. As you see, between minus 10 and 0 I got minus 7 dot something like that, okay. And the next one is range function. The rand range function generates an integer between its lower and upper argument. It's like range function before we learned. The lower integer is included, but the upper one is not, okay. For example, if we want to create a dice example, we need to create our random between 1 and 7 because 7 is not included, right? And also range function has 3 arguments actually. Here we have rand integer function, rand int function, but rand range function, and there is only one difference between these two functions. This one has 3 arguments. You can also use step size here for this function, but for rand integer you cannot use step size, okay. Let's make our examples, and after that we will understand how to use this function also. For example, if you want to create a dice and our variable name is dice, after that you need to say random and rand range between 7 and 1 and 7, right? Now let's print it out. Dice, as you see, I got 5. It returns me 5. Okay, let's press shift and enter again. As you see, it said 1. And let's make another one. Let's say random rand range between, again let's use a negative number, and let's say minus 4, okay. As you see, it said minus 82. Why it's like I'm typing here like minus 100 and minus 4? Because for the negative numbers, minus 100 is less than minus 4, okay. Don't forget also this is a math rule, a general math rule, okay. And after one, let's use now 3 arguments. I will say random rand range. Now I will use also step size, okay. Let's start from 0 and until 100. 100 is not included, and step size is 5, okay. Now press shift and enter. As you see, I got 95. This function will generate for me, let's type command line here. It will start from 0, right? It will generate 0, 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 until 95, okay, because 100 is not included, and because step size is 5, that's why it will generate for us 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, some these numbers, okay. And what is the next one is rand integer function. The rand integer function generates an integer between its lower and upper argument. We saw rand range function here, right? Can get 3 arguments, but the rand integer function only get 2 arguments, and minimum and maximum value. That's all, okay. Here the only difference is this function has 3 arguments, but rand int function only has 2 arguments, okay. We can make our same example like dice here, rand int, okay, between 1 and 7, okay. Now let's print out our function dice rand something wrong. Dice rand integer is, why is something like that? I got a error here. Name rand integer is not defined, is set, sorry, because here we need to type right before random, after that rand integer. Now 1 and 7, right? As you see, it returned 3 for us, okay. This is very similar, so I think one example is enough to understand it. The other one is sample function. Return a x length list of unique elements chosen from the list, string or tuple sequence. Use it for random sampling without replacement. What I mean here, we can use our sample function for lists, tuples, or strings, okay. And firstly, I want to create a list here to understand this function. after that you will understand how it is working. Okay, my list one is equal to, here I will say why it's like that. I will now restart my kernel because it's not working well. Okay, this is ready. It said list one is equal to, again something wrong, why it's like that I don't know. Wait, again, let's say list 2 equal to, something wrong with my kernel again. Wait, again, restart. List one, sorry, here I need to also again import my module because I said restart my kernel. So here I will say list one is equal to, here now it's working, and I will create here names. Okay, a string list, Jack, Maria, and let's say George, and Adam, and the other one let's say Okan. Okay, now I will use my sample function. Here I will say random, my module name, and after it my function name sample. Okay, now here I want to say pick some elements from my list one, and how many items you want to pick from your list. I will say here 3. Okay, and it said here returns a x length list of unique elements from the given list, string or a tuple sequence. Okay, right? So it will now return me 3 elements from my list. Okay, random is not name, random is not sample, something wrong again here. Random, I said import random, it's not, let's do is like import, it doesn't see the functions actually random, right? Now it's not working. Again I will say here random is not defined because my kernel is something wrong about it, and I will say restart it. Here if I say here import, like here it must be green, right? It's not green actually, so import, yes, now it's working. Random, sometimes you can get this kind of problems, but don't worry, you can start your kernel again, restart. Okay, it will work again. Now what I said, and we said list one is also is defined, I think. Now I will say random sample, my function name. Okay, and after that I want to pick some items from my list one, and how many items I want 3. Okay, as you see it returns me George, Maria, and Adam, because I said here from my list one generate some random items, and how many items I want, I said 3 items I want from my list. Okay, and let's do it with a string. This use with a string. I will say here, for example, string is hello Python. Okay, and after that here shift and enter, I will come to here and I will say again my module name random, and after that sample, my function name. Here now what I need to say, I need to say here as my string name. Okay, now shift and enter. Sorry, here of course it said missing one required potential argument. That means we need to type here how many items we want from our list, right? So if I say 4 or let's say 2, as you see it returns me H and E. Okay, and let's also create a tuple here, and let's see how we can use with tuples this one, parenthesis, another one, and let's say 1 2, right? second one is 2 and 3, and the last one, let's say 4 and 5. Okay, here now I will come to here and I will say random sample and my tuple name. Okay, tuple 1, and how many elements I want? Let's say 1. Okay, this time as you see it returns me 2 and 3. Okay, and our not last one, actually we have choice and after that shuffle. Choice function is also returns a random item from a list, string or tuple, but here the difference, you can hear this function returns how many elements you want. For example, it said here pick 3 elements for us, right? But this one is only returns one item from your given list, string or tuple. Okay, and let's make example. Here actually we can get copy and paste this one. Actually we don't need the copy and paste, we can use list 1 again, but I want to copy and paste again. And after that here I will say random, my function name choice, right? Here what I will say list 1. Okay, as you see it returns for us only one item from given list. Okay, and also we can use for our string, right? What I need to say, my module name random choice, and after that my string random choice. Again it says something wrong. Okay, random dot choice, and my string name is s. I don't know it will work or not. Something wrong again. Sorry, here, yes, here I need to come here and let's copy and paste this. Anyway, random choice, and I will say here s. Okay, now as you see here from my string I have only one item, and because my choice function generate for me only one item from my list. Okay, and also for tuple you can use it. It's also very simple. Only we need to type here random choice and my tuple name. Okay, and how you see how it is working for also tuples. And our last function is shuffle function. The shuffle function randomizes the item of a given list. Okay, what I mean here, for example, let's create a list, a number list. Okay, and I will say for my variable name numbers, after that I will say list, and let's use range function, range from 0 to 20. So I need to type only 20. Okay, it is same thing here. I want to use my function random. After that my function name is shuffle, and here my variable name, right, numbers, and here I will say print shuffled list is. Here firstly I want to print out my list, and after that here I will say is, and here comma numbers, right? Now press shift and enter. As you see now here, this is normal list and this one is shuffled list. This function is very easily to use. You can shuffle whatever you want. Okay, the given list, actually you can use this item for the lists. Okay, for shuffle function. And that's all. We learned everything, actually not everything but almost everything about random module. See you in the next.